You'll find in Illustrator's tools that you have the ability to create some pretty primitive and basic shapes, such as the rectangle, a rounded rectangle, an ellipse, a polygon, a star, and flares. Now, you might think to yourself, why in the world would I even think to use these when I can draw things myself? Because, well, not everybody can draw, first of all. And secondly, you can actually create some very interesting shapes by using a combination of these guys and some of the filters such as Pathfinder. And definitely check out how to use the Pathfinder in another lesson in this tutorial. So here's the rectangle tool. You would think that you would just draw with the rectangle tool and create any shape you want, which is true. But you can also, instead of drawing it the old-fashioned way, simply have the tool draw based on your parameters or what a client wants you to draw. For example, what if someone wants you to create a business card? Well, you click one time, and now you can enter exactly the width and height that you desire. Of course, you can use your preferences to change the units so you have inches in this case. So you can go to the Illustrator Preferences and just choose Units and Display, and you can change this to inches in this case. And when I click again, now I have inches. So I can make a 3 by 5 card, or whatever size business cards are these days. I haven't had a business card since 1812 because of the internet. So I can also do the same thing with this tool. This is the rounded rectangle. And clicking one time is really helpful because you can determine exactly how round the corners will be based on the corner radius. Let me give you an example. If I draw with the tool, I can see that I have a radius here. And when I click here to create a new one, I can change this. For example, I can make it, let's say 2 inches. And then I have a very rounded, almost train set kind of shape here. Remember those old Lionel train sets? Well, that's what it looks like. You have the straight tracks and you have your curved tracks. Now, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of these and just show you some very basic things you can draw with these tools. For example, if I grab the rectangle and I draw something out like this, I can give it a fill of some kind of mortar color, and then I can create a rounded rectangle and draw out a couple of bricks. So let me go ahead first of all and reset this by giving it 0.2, and I can grab this brick and stretch it out and give it a fill color that's more brick-ish. So let me go ahead and choose something here. I'll go down here instead and choose a nice sandy color. And what I could do at this point is I can hold down on my keyboard the Alt or Option key, and then when I shift click on it, I can move it over, and I can just hold down that key again without shift and reposition these to create the beginnings of a brick wall. So it's a simple combination of rectangle and rounded rectangle to create a simple brick wall. You can also create clouds or anything else you can think of by simply overlapping a couple of ellipses, and once again using the Pathfinder tool, or as a matter of fact, let me move this over. I'll create a couple of shapes like so, overlap them to create a quick cloud, which of course doesn't look like a cloud yet, but I'm going to select them all. I'll get rid of their stroke, and for their fill, I'll give it a very light blue. And now you have a cloud. And all you have to do is go to Object, Group. So you have a crazy cloud shape and a brick wall by using the very simple and basic primitive shapes that are contained in Illustrator.